Her name was Maya. She was kind, gentle, and always believed in the good in people. For years, she stood by her best friend, her partner, and her family, believing that loyalty and love would always be enough. But life doesn't always work that way. One day, everything changed. Someone Maya trusted more than anyone in the world betrayed her. They lied, they used her, and they walked away as if she never mattered. She was left alone, confused and broken. The people she once laughed with became strangers. Nights turned into battles. She cried silently on her pillow, wondering what she did wrong. For weeks, she kept pretending she was okay. But inside, her heart was heavy. One morning, she looked at herself in the mirror and whispered, "I am hurting." And in that moment, something shifted. She realized she had to stop pretending. She had to be honest, not with others, but with herself. She was hurt, deeply. And it was okay to admit it. But healing didn't come in one day. At first, her mind was filled with questions. Why did they do this? Didn't they care? How could someone hurt her and move on so easily? But slowly, she began to understand that holding on to those questions was only keeping her stuck. She was living in their shadow, giving them power over her peace. And so, she made a choice. She shifted her focus from them to herself. She stopped asking, "Why did they hurt me?" and started asking, "What do I need to heal?" She started journaling. She took quiet walks. She cried when she needed to. And she gave herself permission to feel everything without judgment. In that space of silence, Maya discovered something even more powerful: compassion. Not for the people who hurt her, at least not yet, but for herself. She realized she had been blaming herself all this time, blaming herself for trusting, for loving too much, for not seeing the truth. But she was human, and humans make mistakes. And that didn't make her weak. It made her real. She stopped being so harsh on herself. She spoke gently. She reminded herself, "You did the best you could with the love you had." And for the first time, she started believing it. But there was one more step she needed to take. The hardest one: forgiving herself. That meant letting go of the guilt she had carried for so long. The guilt of not leaving sooner. The guilt of believing lies. The guilt of not being perfect. She stood in front of the mirror and said, "I forgive you." Not just once, but every day. She forgave the girl who loved without limits. The girl who stayed quiet to keep peace. The girl who held on too tightly. And as she forgave herself, something incredible happened. She began to feel lighter. She laughed again. She danced again. She trusted herself again. And with time, she found something even more beautiful: grace. Forgiveness didn't mean what happened was okay. It didn't mean she forgot. It meant she no longer allowed the pain to control her. She no longer carried the weight of someone else's actions. She was free. Her relationships became stronger. She loved without fear. She found peace in small moments. And above all, she found joy. Not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind that stays, even when life is quiet. Maya's story is not just her story. It's mine. It's yours. It's the story of anyone who's ever been hurt, broken, and left behind. But also the story of someone who chose to rise anyway. If you are holding on to pain, if you are blaming yourself, if you feel stuck, please remember this: you are allowed to hurt. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to begin again. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's freedom. And the future waiting for you is brighter than you can imagine.